Be it in WWE, WCW, ECW, NWA, Impact, New Japan, or AEW, there have been quite a few championships over the years. While most of the titles introduced by the promotions remain, some of them have been discontinued. Championships are a sign of respect, of status. During their time, some titles that may even exist today have been disrespected by the wrestlers who held them, or in some cases, their opponents. This is Wrestling Up, and here at times wrestling titles were disrespected. Before we get into the rest of the video, make sure you subscribe to Wrestling Up and turn on all notifications to stay up to date with everything in the world of pro wrestling. WWE's Cruiserweight division has never had the best track record. The worst moment for the title in its mid-2000s run came when Hornswoggle won the open challenge to win the Cruiserweight belt at the Great American Bash in 2007. He defeated Jamie Noble, Jimmy Wang Yang, Funaki, Shannon Moore, and of all people, Chavo Guerrero, who had held the title till that point. They were all amazing cruiserweights, and with them being cast aside in favor of Hornswoggle, it was clear what WWE thought of the belt. It would officially retire 6 months later, and during those months, the title was hardly defended. Thankfully, WWE has restarted the Cruiserweight division and the title, and currently the belt is one of the most respected on NXT. The title was slowly gaining back prestige that it lost, with Santos Escobar and Kushida battling for it in a 2 out of 3 falls match. Kushida won it, and hopefully it will become more glorious. When Nikita Koloff returned to WCW in '91, his focus was on US champion Lex Luger. He attacked Luger, laying him out in the ring. He claimed he was still the one true US champ, and then decided to use a ring post to destroy the belt. In the end, Luger came out as the winner in the feud, but when he did, he brought forward a new version of the belt. For the rest of the time that WCW continued, this new title was the one they used, and would only be changed when it became a fixture in WWE. Vince McMahon went from a commentator on TV to one of the most important figures in wrestling. He was seen as the man who helped turn the Monday Night Wars around by playing the villain that everyone could easily hate. Wrestling against Steve Austin, there was not a single thing that was likable about the WWE boss. The Montreal Screwjob saw him become the biggest heel in WWE, after which he started to become a regular part of programming. However, there was a time McMahon would be facing Triple H. He was the face at the time, and he actually defeated Triple H in the feud thanks to Stone Cold interfering on his behalf. He gave up the title 6 days later. The moment is infamous, but also not hated, because at this time McMahon was at least a semi-regular wrestler, though him winning the title was a slap in the face to every legendary wrestler who had won it before him. The WCW title had been held by legends in the past, such as Ric Flair, Sting, Ron Simmons, Hulk Hogan, Bret Hart, Goldberg, and more, but Vince Russo wanted to be among them, and was in a segment where he defeated Booker T in a cage to become champion. The fact that he was the head booker at the time only makes this worse. Goldberg speared Russo through the cage and he landed outside, leading to Booker T losing and Russo winning. The moment was ridiculous and flawed, and was one of the most disrespectful angles that the WCW title had ever been booked in. He would wait a whole week to vacate the belt, and it was clearly a sign of everything wrong with the company. Andre the Giant might be one of the most beloved wrestlers, but there was a time he was more interested in playing the heel on TV, and he was really good at it. Andre won the WWE title from Hulk Hogan. Ted DiBiase had been spending all his time trying to buy the title from Hogan. Andre then gave up the belt to DiBiase in exchange for cash. The title change was not recognized, and it was vacated, but DiBiase's angle proved that money made the world turn. The disrespectful actions towards the belt saw DiBiase stripped, and Jack Tunney, then president, set up a tournament for the title at WrestleMania. Greg Valentine and Tito Santana had one of the biggest feuds of the 80s over the Intercontinental Championship. It was Santana's second reign as IC champ and he faced Valentine inside a cage. Santana was able to win, but his title did not have the best fate. Valentine was not happy about losing and ended up destroying the belt. This was done in storyline so WWE could introduce their newly designed title. At the time, the new WCW president Jim Herd wanted Ric Flair to take a pay cut. He even wanted to change Flair's gimmick, and Flair, being unhappy, was fired by Herd. He was still holding the NWA WCW World title. The champion had to put down a $25,000 deposit to hold the belt, but when Flair was not returned the money, he turned up on WWE program with the belt, and WWE decided to pixelate it on TV. But fans knew exactly what it was, and was seen as a slap across the face of WCW, albeit many thought a well-deserved one. The finger poke of doom was seen as the death knell in WCW. Kevin Nash defended his WCW title against Hulk Hogan following a feud that lasted 9 months. The two faced each other on an episode of Nitro. There was a hot crowd, but the match lasted seconds. Hogan poked Nash in the chest, and this led to Nash dramatically falling to the ground while Hogan pinned him. Fans were at first shocked and then disgusted. The fact that this happened on the same Nitro where Tony Schiavone revealed that Mick Foley would be winning the WWF title led to fans changing the channel, and WCW losing 600,000 viewers to WWF. Madusa made a return to WCW in '95. She was still WWE Women's Champion and appeared on an episode of Nitro where she threw the title in the trash. It was an open declaration of war of the highest order by WCW. Madusa threw it away like it meant nothing, and perhaps this was in the back of Vince McMahon's mind when he went through with the Montreal Screwjob to ensure Bret Hart could not leave WWE with the title as he went to WCW. Shane Douglas was a part of ECW and won a tournament that was meant to crown a new NWA World Heavyweight Champion. The move saw Douglas cut a heavy and bitter promo about the NWA and called it a dead organization. Only Douglas, Paul Heyman, and Todd Gordon knew about the intentions from before. He threw down the belt and instead took up the ECW title. He had seemingly been cutting a promo about respect, naming previous winners of the title, but then said they could kiss his rear end. The moment was one of the most shocking and was considered to be one of the most disrespectful. When Paige won the Divas title, she became the youngest ever to win it at the age of 21 in 2014. In 2017, she fell victim to photos and videos of her leaking online, and one particular picture had fans outraged. The explicit pic of Paige and the Divas belt was blasted online by the wrestling community, with some saying the belt should be burned. A new belt is needed, and they hope no one has kissed that belt. And these were times wrestling titles were disrespected. I hope you're all having a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you later.